have to tell you about a funny experience that we had Thursday evening on Thanksgiving. So Simi, myself, Brendan, Liam, we joined the Grinsteins. We had our Thanksgiving dinner in the city. And I invited to join us for Thanksgiving dinner the distinguished ambassador of Turkey to the United States, who many of you met here in July. It was his first address to the American Jewish community. Ambassador Merkin, his wife Inci, and the Consul General of Turkey in New York. So we had a lovely Thanksgiving dinner, and coincidentally, the ambassador and his wife and I were invited to a bar mitzvah reception of all places in Borough Park. Couldn't make this up. So the ambassador said, Rabbi, what is Borough Park? What am I going to see in Borough Park? I wish Jeff Weisenfeld would have been there. You could have been the translator with all the Yiddish and all the Divrei Torah. So I'm explaining to them, what is the ultra-Orthodox Borough Park Jewish community. I mean, we're right in the heart on, 14th Avenue, 46th Street. And suddenly, when we're driving over in the car, the ambassador's wife, Inci, says, oh, you mean it's like Shtisel? Now remember, this is the Muslim wife of the Muslim ambassador, Shtisel. I said, first, you should know that we hosted, you remember 2 years ago, we hosted the cast of Shtisel here at the Hampton Synagogue. You remember that memorable evening. But then I said, Inci, what do you know about Shtisel? She says, Rabbi, Shtisel, I've watched every episode, I study, I know all about it. I said, okay, fine. So we go into the hall. Of course, there's separate seating. Inci is sitting on the other side of Brooklyn. And, I'm sitting there, all the rabbis, the Rabbanim, Rabbi Schneier, please sit on the dais. No, it's okay, I'm going to sit, with the ambassador, the Consul General. So at around 10:30, we go back into the car, heading back to the city. And Inci says to me, she says, you kept wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom. What is Shabbat Shalom? I explained to her. She says, oh, because on Shtisel, they say, Good Shabbos. And then, no, here comes the best part. And then the ambassador says to me, he's sitting next to me, Inci's in back of us. The ambassador says, is there a greeting after the Sabbath is over? I said, yes, it's Shavua Tov. And she says, no, it's Good Vach. So I wish all of you a Good Vach and a Shavua Tov. True story. True story. Before the concert begins, we have a very special presentation to a longtime friend who is a legend in his own right. I'm speaking of Barry Tucker, the president of the Richard Tucker Music Foundation. Barry, please. Barry, throughout the Thanksgiving festivities here at the Hampton Synagogue, I have remarked how gratitude at its highest level goes beyond the counting of blessings. It involves the sharing of one's blessings, that we are not truly grateful until we afford others the experience and the opportunity to share in those blessings. 1975, just after the great Richard Tucker, Barry's legendary father, passed away, Barry created the Richard Tucker Music Foundation. And there were two objectives. First, to keep his father's memory and legacy alive. And second, Barry wanted to make sure, remember, we're talking about cantor Richard Tucker, who became the #1 personality of the Metropolitan Opera. Barry wanted to make sure that there would be a continued exponential growth of American singers that would follow in his father's footsteps. And here we are 47 years later. The Richard Tucker Music Foundation, under Barry's leadership, has gifted millions and millions and millions of dollars in scholarship money, so that today the Metropolitan Opera, 80% of its singers are American. And that is a testament to the vision of this gentleman, my dear friend Barry Tucker, who is as committed to the cantorial art as he is to the opera. After all, the fusion, the blending, the synthesis. What was Richard Tucker? The great cantor who became the great operatic star. So we have a little gift for you. So come join me up here. Barry, come. Come stand here. Remember, we're on camera. Yes. Hi, guys. All right. This is a very beautiful mezuzah that we found that is in the shape of a treble clef.
Beautiful.
Even a treble clef,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we present this to you, Barry, with our admiration, our adoration and love. And just like the mezuzah is to watch and protect over the community, over the home, we pray that this mezuzah and that God himself will continue to grant you long life, will watch over you, particularly in your noble service to the Jewish people and to greater humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Barry Tucker.
Thanks. Thank you, Rabbi, and I'm touched. I didn't expect this, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Good evening, and I'm Barry Tucker, the president of Richard Tucker Music Foundation and the oldest son of Sarah and Richard Tucker. I'm thrilled to be here this evening to introduce this musical evening. Richard Tucker was groundbreaking. First and only cantor to fully cross over and enjoy the pinnacle of success in the opera world as #1 for 31 years. The way he demonstrated such dedication to his faith by declining to appear on any stage over the nights of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So many opening nights he turned down just because he was a cantor and enjoyed and loved singing the high holy days. Let me tell you just a few little incidents about my father as a groundbreaker. Many performances held at the old Metropolitan Opera on 39th Street at the time, before Lincoln Center was born, so to speak, Mr. Bing, Rudolph Bing, the manager, would always bring dignitaries to the opera. And of course, who is he going to bring? The best singers to the stage at the Met at the time. And at that time was my father. And so many performances that I recall, that I was there when Prime Minister Khrushchev came, Gromyko came, and they came backstage after the performance and they complimented him and they said how great you are and how come you don't sing in Russia? He said, gentlemen, I'll go tomorrow and I won't even accept your 500 rubles that you want to pay me. So they said, of course, let's go. He said, no. There's one condition. Every time I sing for you, I'm going to go across the street to the synagogue to sing. Well, that never happened. His devotion to the state of Israel, which we all love. I can't tell you that he and Leonard Bernstein were the only two who went every other year to perform with the IPO and to do concerts and benefits at hospitals, at Army bases, Air Force bases, you name it. But he and Leonard Bernstein never took one penny for their families. And we stayed a month, every other year, at the Acadia, the Dan, you name it, the King David. The memories for me were just spectacular. The way he davened every morning in his home, he put on his tallis, his tefillin, inspiring his family by never wavering in his daily commitment to his faith and his own tradition as a Jew. The Hampton Synagogue is also groundbreaking. Thanksgiving weekend concerts marks the first Orthodox synagogue to present a concert featuring America's leading female cantors. This concert will be later offered on the Hampton Synagogue nationwide JBS television network, which reaches 76 million homes across America. Through this platform, the Hampton Synagogue inspires an audience unprecedented in history with the wonderful liturgical music for which it is renowned, including some of the classic cantorial compositions of my father, Richard Tucker. We are looking forward to future collaborations between the Hampton Synagogue and the Richard Tucker Music Foundation, two institutions that appreciate what it means to be groundbreaking. Now, sit back, enjoy this wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Shavua tov, a gut woch, as they say in Turkey. What a pleasure. The rabbi, you discussed this morning about the duty to give thanksgiving in person. It's something that cannot be done by someone else. And this is why I need to just a little bit repeat myself, at the expense of being repetitive every year to do that. But how can I not thank first and foremost the wondrous duo, our amazing president, Carol Levin, and the rabbi, who just lead that synagogue to heights and heights and heights. To you, my awesome congregation, I want to hug each one of you tonight. I love my congregation, and this is where I grow. Nathaniel Hershtik is not Nathaniel Hershtik without the Hampton Synagogue. It's already a synonym, and that's it. This is me. I'm proud and happy about that. Of course, how can I not mention my brothers here? Each and every one of them, most amazing musicians. led by this incredible musician that I have the privilege to sing with him every week, and everyone are jealous of me, because who has a choir like that every Shabbat? So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I'll sing now Havdalah, but I want to talk about my new sisters. Okay, after Havdalah, when I'll call you to sing with me Elokai Nitzor, right? Am I correct? Immediately after? Okay. So let's start. Havdalah. And that's not the one with the Maccabees. Richard Tucker did not sing that. now to my sisters, my new sisters. And this is really a wonderful moment to celebrate in this synagogue. This groundbreaking concert is not really about Kol Isha. It's not about the subject of Kol Isha. We've had many women sing in this concert, in this synagogue. It's the first time we invite female cantors to that synagogue for a concert. And I wonder why. I wonder why is there some kind of, people are hesitant to do something like that. Why is it until now that female cantors were not invited to a cantorial synagogue in a concert? This is why I feel so much pleasure and I feel privileged to be the first to do so. We also happen to be very fortunate in our generation to have these amazing talents, amazing voices. We really picked them one by one. And for me, it's a very special occasion because it's opening the door to our brethren in the conservative synagogues, in the Reform synagogues. It's extending a friendly hand and giving you a hug to tell you you're our brothers, you're my sisters, and please come and join me here. Enjoy these wonderful voices.
Good evening, everyone. We are so grateful to be here on this weekend of gratitude and praise and thanksgiving. I can't imagine being in a warmer and a more welcoming environment. We have had the most glorious couple days getting to know the Hampton Synagogue community and your friends and family members who are here as well. And so we just thank you so much for the privilege of joining us here for the Shehachianu moment. I hope that it is as meaningful for you as it is for all of us up here, so we thank you. And I do have to thank, on behalf of all of us, your incredible leadership, your incredible clergy, who, just like your father, Barry, is certainly you are a groundbreaking team here. And so we thank you for your leadership in bringing us here today. And certainly we know it's not all about Kol Isha, and even so, we are so grateful to be standing here as the first 4 female cantors on this bima. So thank you. And may we continue to find ways to trailblaze together. May our collective voices be heard, and may we all sing a new song.
Shir Elad Hashem, Shir Chadash, Shir Elad Hashem. שירו אלעד השם ברכו שמו פסרו מיום ליום ישועתו שירו אלעד השם שיר חדש שירו אלעד השם כל הארץ שירו אלעד השם ברכו שמו פסרו מיום ליום ישועתו ספרו שיר חדש, שירו אלעד השם כל הארץ
That was an original by Laurie Akers.
Well, this incredibly talented choir fills in. I'll fill in some space. What an honor to be here this evening. And as the rabbi mentioned, it is a little cold out there, but I'm very happy that the reception has been so incredibly warm. I'm very warm right now. On Yom Kippur, every single year, cantors around the world daven Shema Kolenu, and we ask for our voices to be heard and for our prayers to be received in compassion and mercy. And the masterful composer Max Helfman gives us this iconic Shema Kolenu, which expresses the soul's need to both communicate and to be heard.
Shema Kolenu and maestro and the choir, just incredible. So I plan to say something, but sometimes life takes you differently. So don't worry, Rabbi, it will be as short as a sermon. Coming here brought a lot of reflection to me in the last few days. I didn't think I would feel like that in many ways. Last time I performed here, when I was 5, my dear friend and mentor and like second mother of blessed memory, Mary Rogers, author, composer in her own right, and daughter of Richard Rogers, was sitting in one of the first rows right here. And thanks to her, I went to cantorial school. And then last night, Stephen Sondheim, blessed memory, passed away. And he was Mary's one of her best friends. And I got lucky to meet him at her 80th birthday when I flew in from Los Angeles to be with her. So tonight I'm giving a tribute with much love in the name of all of us to Mary and to Stephen Sondheim. May their memory be of a celebration and a blessing, because they're one of a kind in our generation. And we'll carry their songs from being alive to No One Is Alone. And nowadays, it's so important to know that no one is alone. And then, standing here on this bama, with the Yiddish theater, with a project that started that's called Soul to Soul. And this was our first stage, where Zanon Latte called me to come over and do this. And then I carried the Yiddish with another group of mine, divas on the bima, and I keep singing this song, and I sang it in my beloved synagogue, Bnei Torah in Boca Raton, right before I applied for the job. So the next song, translated to Yiddish by Moshe Rosenfeld, reminds us all that in spite of this craziness in the world, the challenges, sometimes, we can't tolerate it, but don't forget that no matter what, this is a wonderful world, and we should celebrate every single minute and every single day, just like Mr. Sondheim said, being alive.
Die Bäume grün und Reusenfein, die schön kein Blick, sie ist mein und dein, und seht euch zu mir, Sarah prächtige Welt. Die Himmeln blau, Wolkenpracht, lichtiger Tag, heilige Nacht, und seht euch zu mir, Sarah prächtige Welt, kolliert von Regenbogen, in Himmel sehr wie schön, bescheinen euch dem Ponym von Menschen, wenn sie gehen, sich Feiring geben Hand, sagen, was macht ihr? Sie wollen sagen, bist mir lieb, Herr dem Kind gewähnt, bis wachst du leer, kennt und es seht euch zu mir. Sarah prächtige Welt. וכל צבעי הקשת יפים ועדינים חולפים על פני הגשם, על פני האנשים, והיום כה יפה וקל לי כל כך לומר שאני אוהבת אותך. I hear babies cry, I watch him grow, he'll know much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Und es seht euch zu mir. Zerbrachtige, what a wonderful, what a wonderful, what a wonderful. רונן איציק, מייקל. Thank you, Cantor. Thank you, Rabbi.
Hashem b'simcha bo lefanav birnana. Serve God in gladness and come before God with joy. And I'm going to speak on behalf of all our sisters here and our brother. I'm enjoying this. To say that that is the foundational element of this calling. That to come before you, to have the privilege of serving our communities, it's always got to start with joy. And a few years ago, Cantor Akers and Goldman and myself found ourselves at one of the many conventions cantors love to go to. And by total happenstance, we decided to sit in a hallway with our iPads and look at music together and sing. And in that moment, a spark of joy was born. And we decided to continue that collaboration as the Schul sisters. So It's like the divas on the Bima. Magda has her own. We like
Both
funny
trademark.
names too. And so we come before you tonight with joy, with gratitude, and with a song in our heart. Ivdu et Hashem.
Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav. Ki Hashem Elokim, hu asanu velo. Ki Hashem hu Elokim, אנחנו עמו וצומריתו. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav.
Alan Mason on the piano.
Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. 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 Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana.
When we had that first meeting in that hallway at this convention of cantors, the song that immediately bonded us together, where we knew that this was a collaboration that was not just professional, but was really a very spiritual connection. We see ourselves as sisters in a lot of ways. And it was this piece of music that Cantor Goldman brought to us called The Price of a Woman, which is the title for a translated English version of Eshet Chayil, where we lift up the many merits of the women in our lives. And it comes from a larger work called Bible Women by Elizabeth Swados of blessed memory, who created an entire large choral performative piece around the sort of inner lives of many of the women that are familiar to us in our tradition. And the Eshet Chayil is a particularly poignant one because she's not a woman with a name. She's not Sarah, she's not Rivka, she's not Devorah. She's sort of all of us. And so we offer this to you as a way, hug the woman in your life closer to you each week. And this is from us to all the women who have come before us, who we hope to inspire after us. Your value is far above rubies.
afar. She rises also while it is yet night. Her candle does not go out. Her candle does not go out. She considers the field and buys it with the fruit of her hands. She plants a vineyard and makes it grow. Her loins are strong and her arms are getting stronger. She stretches out her hands to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She stretches out her hands to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the cold. Strength and honor are her clothing. She is not afraid of the cold. Strength and honor are her clothing. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. Of kindness. She shall rejoice in the time to come. Let her works be praised. Let her works be praised. Let her works be praised on this earth.
So for most of my youth, I had this perception that, thank you. I had this perception that the only aspects of myself that I could bring into prayer were those parts of myself that were already evolved, the good parts. And it wasn't until I had this realization as I started to get older that I realized that all the complex parts of myself,
All those colors, the light ones, the dark ones, all those gray colors in between, that all made up who I was. And when I started to really feel that authentically, then I started to really understand prayer, when I brought all of myself into prayer. And so it was in the midst of this realization that I also felt inspired and empowered to write my own interpretations, my own musical settings of some of our liturgy. And so this is a setting of Yehi L'Ratzon that I wrote when I was feeling particularly inspired. And so I'll share this with you.
May the words of my mouth be acceptable to you. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory. May the love that I feel be acceptable to you. May the times that I cry, I resist, say goodbye, be in line with your divine glory. Yehi L'Ratzon, Imrefi, Hegyon libi lefanecha. L'Adam Shem Tzuri, V'Gorali, my rock and my redeemer. acceptable to you. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory. רפי והגאון ליבי לפניך לנו שם סורי וגואלי my rock and my redeemer. May the life that I lead be acceptable to you. May the times that I rise share that voice deep inside, be in line with your divine glory. May it be your will. You live at soon. May it be your will. You live at soon. May it be your will. You live at soon. May it be your will. You live at soon. You live at soon. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory.
I have to admit that every time I heard it in the past few days rehearsed, I was in tears because the path we create is for the future generation. And not only women could not be cantors, not such a long time ago. We added our voices to composing liturgical music. And I want to give a shout out to an extraordinary composer that actually encouraged me to write. We wrote together a couple of pieces, and we're going to feature a new Kedusha, God willing, soon when I record it. But I want to give a shout out to a very special woman right here, Beth Stiles. And the next song, by the way, I want to tell you, I can sing Chazanut. I chose not to tonight, just for you to know. But I can. No problem, choir. But the next song, I grew up in Israel, and I took in a lot of influences because immigration was from all over the world, just like in the States. And since I'm running a very interesting home, and I have an 8.5-year-old that is a blast, we hear at home like all music. My grandparents used to, listen to music of opera, Yiddish, Greek, everything, Gypsy. And then when I moved to New York, I played with so many bands to actually make a living. So the next song is called Ani Eshtagea. I will go crazy if you say goodbye. I don't know what I'll do. It's just a nightmare that can't go on. And this song I chose right before I started meditating in my path. When I was a hectic person. Now I'm very calm. Why is everyone laughing? How do you know me? Seriously? Is this on TV? This is going on TV. Can you cut some things? No? Okay. Maybe I should go into stand-up. I seem to be very successful if this cantorial thing doesn't work. So the next song is called Ani Eshtagea, and it's translated from Spanish, from a Venezuela song by the late Ehud Manor. Ani Eshtagea im tomar shalom. I will go crazy if you say goodbye. You ready, Dr. Ellen Mason here? By the way, Dr. Ellen Mason.
כשתאמר שלום, אני לא מבינה איך הגעתי עד הלום. כי אם תרצה ללכת זה יהיה גיהנום מושלם, כאשר ממוות זה יהיה סוף העולם. אני אשתגע כשתאמר שלום, אני לא מבינה איך הגעתי עד הלום. כי אם תרצה ללכת זה יהיה גיהנום מושלם, כאשר ממוות זה יהיה סוף העולם. ציוד כזה עולה על כל דמיון בו, ויחד נעצור את השעון. זוהי אהבה שאין בה היגיון, זוהי אהבה שתיגמר בביזיון. אני לא יכולה לומר איזה שיגעון מחליק לי בגרון. אתה ראשון היית ותהיה האחרון. ציוד כזה עולה על כל דמיון בו, ויחד נעצור את השעון. זוהי אהבה שאין בה היגיון, זוהי אהבה שתיגמר בביזיון. אני לא יכולה לומר איזה שיגעון מחליק לי בגרון. אתה ראשון היית ותהיה האחרון. אני לא מבינה איך הגעתי עד הלום. כי אם תצא ללכת זה יהיה גיהנום מושלם, כאשר ממוות זה יהיה סוף העולם. אני אשתגע כשתאמר שלום, אני לא מבינה איך הגעתי עד הלום. כי אם תצא ללכת זה יהיה גיהנום מושלם, כאשר ממוות זה יהיה סוף העולם. ציוד כזה עולה על כל דמיון בו, ויחד נעצור את השעון. זוהי אהבה שאין בה היגיון, זוהי אהבה שתיגמר בביזיון. אני לא יכולה לומר איזה שיגעון מחליק לי בגרון. אתה ראשון היית ותהיה האחרון. ציוד כזה עולה על כל דמיון בו, ויחד נעצור את השעון. זוהי אהבה שאין בה היגיון, זוהי אהבה שתיגמר בביזיון. אני לא יכולה לומר איזה שיגעון מחליק לי בגרון. אתה ראשון היית ותהיה האחרון.
This was so good, I even forgot I'm next. Cantor Moshe Stern, a living legend, composed this beautiful Al Hanisim. This is our liturgical piece for Hanukkah today. This is the prayer that we recite in the middle of Modim to thank Hashem for the great miracle of Hanukkah, where our identity, our Jewish identity, our culture was in danger, and the light of Hanukkah represents the saving of that identity. Al Hanisim.
כי לא חלו רחמך והמרחם כי לא תמו חסדיך מעולם קיווינו על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם הניסים ועל הפורקן, על הגבורות, על התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית אבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. יאללה חפלה! שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. מתיסיהו בן יוחנן כהן גדול, השמונאי ובניו, כשעמדה מלכות יוון הרשע, עמך ישראל עשית תשועה גדולה על הניסים ועל הפורקן, על הגבולות, על התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה ואחרי כן באו בניך לנביר בשמך ופינו עשך עליך ועשך עליך ותראו اسمי קדושך וידליקו נרות בחצרות קודשך וקבעו שמונת ימי חנוכה אלו לשמך
Yeah? Forget your troubles,
Happy day,
come on, get happy.
I hear again.
You better chase all your cares away. Shout hallelujah. Come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. The sun is shining. Come on, get happy.
Shout it now.
The Lord is waiting to take your hand. Shout hallelujah.
About it
Get happy. Bring heaven to the promised land. We're heading across the river. Soon our cares will be gone.
There'll be no more from now on. From now on.
Forget your troubles and just get happy. You better chase all your blues away. Shout hallelujah.
Well, you know, in Thanksgiving, the song's name is Total Praise, praise to God, praise to the Lord. This is actually a song, I think, written for churches, really. It's sung in churches, but we can sign on every word here. So, here it goes.
My
This one, you are asked to sing with us, to join us. לדור ודור. Cantor Lori Akers. Cantor Magda Fishman. Cantor Rachel Brook. Cantor Rachel Goldman. Dr. Alan Mason. We have Ronen Itzik on percussion. Michael Wilner. And Yitzchak Chaimov and the Hampton Synagogue Choir. Thank you. See you at the reception right now. Shavua Tov, good Vov.
Shavua Tov.